पोजिशनल ही बने रही है। मुझे लग रहा है ये
confusion about whether you are distinguishing between liquidity and your stance. You have mentioned in 3 places that the entire rate hike has not been fully transmitted. So I assume you want more hike transmitted. But separately you have said that you will manage liquidity, para 21 in great detail, that you will manage liquidity with a bunch of instruments. Should we understand therefore that unlike a majority of the last 5 months when call was closer to 6.75, you will be more like you were in the last 1 week, where you will give long-term liquidity through repo and adjust for short-term, which is keep call rate closer to 6.5. Is that what you are trying to say, that I'll do that, but I want more interest rate hikes to happen? Yes. And sir, since you have dwelt twice on this good governance, I must add, are you trying to say that you will not give Paytm any further timeline to set them right? Does Feb 29 stand? Is that what we should understand? So there are 2
questions actually. 2 questions. So please ask 1 question each. The first part of the question I would request Deputy Governor Michael Patra to reply. The second part I would request Deputy Governor Swaminathan to reply. Go ahead.
As Governor has clarified in his statement, the stance is all about the future course of policy rates. A little louder. Sorry. Okay. Now, liquidity is endogenous to the rate. When the rate is the chief instrument of monetary policy, liquidity follows the rate. You have to move liquidity to achieve a certain rate. So our objective is to keep the repo rate, keep the weighted average call rate around the repo rate. But there are times when there are temporary drivers of autonomous liquidity like government balances, which go through tectonic shifts, and market participants take time to adjust. Even they are unsure about the future direction of this. So that is why sometimes the call rate goes to where it went. But you saw that we were nimble in our actions and we brought it down to the repo rate. That is our endeavor.
But you were nimble after 5 months. So I'm asking, will you be like the previous 5
no,
months,
that is,
or will you be like the last 5 days?
No, that is not correct, because at the time when the rates were up, we allowed market participants to take what liquidity they wanted from us through our standing facilities. And we did the main operation every 14th day. So it was not that we let it go. But it was the market participants still, you saw the reactions to the VRRR, they are unwilling to let go because they are unsure about how balances will move.
Yeah, as you know, as a matter of policy, we don't comment on individual entity or actions that we initiate in such cases. But that anyway, since this question is on the uppermost of mind of most of you, I think I would like to say 2-3 things, essentially to set the context. While we don't want to be discussing the individual details here because that will not be proper. In terms of context, as you all know, that this is a supervisory action on a regulated entity for a persistent non-compliance. Second, such supervisory actions are invariably preceded by months and at times years of bilateral engagement, where we not only pointing out the deficiencies, but also provide more than adequate time for them to take corrective action. Third, of course, is in terms of, as a regulator, it's incumbent upon us to protect the interest of the ultimate consumer and thereby protecting the stability of the financial system. So these actions have to be seen in that particular context. Coming to the second part of your question, what lies ahead? You know, as part of MPC, we don't give a forecast in these matters. So I think you will have to wait, and of course, feedback we have been getting, we'll work on, and as a responsible regulator, suitable steps will be taken to ensure that the customer inconvenience, if any, is minimized. So we will take care. I think with that, we can give a rest to this question and then move on to MPC is my request. Thank you.
Thank you, sirs. I'll move on to Mr. Govardhan Rangan from Economic Times.
So thank you, sir. So good afternoon, Governor. For the rate decision, or rather...
तो आप RBI ऑफिशियल्स को सुन रहे थे जो पेटीएम के सवाल के ऊपर कि इस समय सबके मनों में यही सवाल है इसीलिए वो इस पे केस स्पेसिफिक टिप्पणी तो नहीं करेंगे, लेकिन हाँ एक मोटा मोटा रेफरेंस पॉइंट वो ज़रूर रख रहे थे कि पेटीएम में केस को लेकर वो किस तरह का अपना उनका स्टांस है। बेसिकली उसमें गलतियां तो बहुत हुई हैं, लेकिन उसको सुधारने में थोड़ा समय ज़रूर लगा है, और उन्होंने पहले बहुत सारे नियमों की जो उल्लंघन थे उसके ऊपर पेटीएम को चेताया भी था, और उसके बाद जो है उन्होंने ये स्टांस लिया है। तो ये उनकी तरफ से बयान आया है, लेकिन हाँ इस पर आज ज़रूर ऑब्वियसली बात है कई सारे जो सवाल हैं वो इस पर पूछे ज़रूर जाएंगे। एक ब्रेक का वक्त हो गया, ब्रेक के बाद लौटते हैं और बातचीत करते हैं प्रशांत सर से, जो कि हमारे साथ बने हुए हैं। उनसे हम पूछते हैं एक सस्ता ऑप्शन छोटे से ब्रेक के उस तरफ।